Welcome back. This is day 3 of our 15 minutes strength Pilates combo. Let's start on the mat. Today, if you have weights like any weights really for some lunges, they might come in handy. If you have like a box or a bench or a chair, that might be handy as well. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. When you're ready, we're going to start in our cat-cow. Hands and knees on the mat, spine up, eyes down. And then belly drops, eyes up. Take the first few to settle in. Try to build the biggest shapes that you can here. Maybe you'd like to sit back to your heels, rock forward and back, just do what works. And then bring your knees and feet together, eyes over your shoulder, hips sway in the opposite direction. Rock through to the other side, hips sway, look over your shoulder. You can stay here or you can tuck your toes, lift your knees. So as you find your twist and you turn to look over your shoulder, your knees are floating in space. If you don't want to pick them up, you can certainly just leave them down. You can tap down between each one, or you can keep them floating the whole time. Whether your knees are up or down, can you twist one way and hold? 5. Chin over your shoulder. 4, 3, 2, 1, twist through, other side. Bottom knees pressing into the top if your knees are lifted. 4, 3, 2, 1, come back to center. Shift your hips back to your heels and then rock forward, hips drop, eyes up, big chest. Round under, sit back. Hips forward, they drop, eyes up, big chest. Stay here, or you can tuck your toes, lift your knees, finding your up dog if you're familiar with yoga, and then press back, down dog, back plank. Rock forward, hips drop, eyes up, press back, down dog. Of course, you can always keep your knees down, finding that rock back and forward. Let's go one more of wherever you're at. Sit back or down dog, rock forward, stay forward. You can lift your knees here if you like. Big chest, see if you can pull your hips and hands closer together. 4, eyes up, 3, 2, and 1. Sit back. We're going to come laying down on our backs on the mat. So however you want to get there. And then can you pull one knee into your chest, other leg goes long. And then switch. Pull one knee into your chest, other leg goes long. You can start to float the long leg so it's not resting on the floor, we're just switching. And then if you like, you can lift your head, nose to knee, towards your knee, and see if you can keep it up. Switch, switch, switch. Every time a knee comes in, you can pull it into your chest. Take the stretch through the front of the hip. You can point your toes purely for aesthetics. In about 15 seconds, you can stay as you are doing this single leg switch, or for the last 30, you can go to double leg. All right, stay single, or it's both knees in, both knees out. Both knees in, both knees out. See if you can keep your chin to your chest, and maybe you even start to find a hip lift here. If you don't worry about it. You can always go for that single. We have 10 seconds and then we're going to finish with a hold. If your neck's getting cranky with you, you're just making it stronger. But if you need to at any point, you can pop it down, bring it up when you can. Let's go for the hold in 3, in 2, in 1, legs long. You can keep your arms by your side. If you want a bit more work, they come up and behind you. Chin is pressing into your chest. Low back into the floor. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Bring your knees in, head comes down. Feet can come to the floor. Just take a quick windshield wiper side to side. And then we're going to roll up. We're going to find a lunge. So you can certainly be by a wall or a chair or something if you feel a bit wobbly and you feel you need the support. One foot's going to come behind us, the other one in front. And then we're thinking about taking the back knee towards the ground. It doesn't have to get there, it's just as low as you can go. And then straighten through those legs. So in our last one, we were in our B stance, so we were quite cramped here. I'm looking for a bit more space, so you shouldn't be able to see that back knee. It's tracking down towards the ground. We're going for more of a 90 lunge here. And then straighten. Come down and straighten. You can hold on to a weight here or some kettlebells, dumbbells if you have them. If you don't and you need some more strength challenge, then we're going to change it a little bit. So when you lunge down, your shin is going to come flat onto the ground. And then as you lift, you try and find a float of this front knee. Come down and then try and stand up using the weight in this standing leg. This supporting leg is holding you as you lower down and then coming up. So I'm trying to lift off without the help of this back leg. We've got about 10 seconds to finish, and then we're going to go other side. Last 5. In 3, we're going to finish with a hold first. Can you lower down? If you're taking a float of that front knee, you can float it, or it's just a hold in your lunge. We're here for 6, 5, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Come up, step both legs together, walk it out. You can stay here before we go to the other side. If you want to find a forward fold, go for it. You can keep walking it out. Find a bit of a twist. It's just supposed to feel nice. And then let's do it. We're going straight to the other side. So other foot comes forward this time. Other foot steps back. Start to find that lunge shape. Back knees dropping towards the ground, and then we're standing up tall. If you used your weights, bring them in when you're ready. If you were just floating this front leg, you can add that in when you're ready. So as you lower down, thinking about getting your shin to the ground, and then standing up with as little support of this back leg as you can. Maybe you find that knee drive as you come up. Maybe you don't. Do what works. The thing about strength training is it's not overly sexy. It's a little bit shaky. Same thing, we've got about 15 seconds to finish this, and then we're going to hold. Get as light as you can on that back leg, as little support as possible. Hold coming in 5, in 3, in 2, in 1, come back. Maybe you're in your lunge, maybe you're floating this back leg off the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come up, walk it out. And then we're going to come back to laying down on the mat. When you're there, we're going for round 2 of our abs. So bring your knees into your chest, just rock side to side. Take a minute or 10 seconds, more like it. And then this time we're going to extend both legs to the sky. And then you can reach up on one leg, grab up as high as you can. Maybe that's behind the knee, maybe that's your ankle. One leg's going to drop and then switch, switch and switch. If this isn't for you, go back to our bent knee that we did to start. So you can come back to this at any point. If you can, it's single straight leg switch. We've got 20 seconds. Again, you can point your toes for aesthetics. If you want it, squish your chin to your chest. 10 seconds. 5, 3. Keep going, or you can bring both hands behind the back of your head and it's double leg. Lower both and lift. Lower both and lift. If you want to find that hip lift that we did in our bent knees, you can. If you want to go back to the bent knees, you can. The goal is just to keep moving for 10. Last 5. 3. Last one, come down, hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both feet come down to the mat. If you can, fingers stay behind the back of your head. We're going for our crisscross or bicycle. So opposite knee to opposite elbow and come down. You can lay down in between each one. Opposite knee to opposite elbow. There has been a heat wave here, so the last few days have been 40 degrees. It's a little bit cooler today, but it's still so hot. All right, if you can take it to your traditional bicycle where your feet are floating if you haven't already. You haven't got that much longer to finish here. For the last 15 seconds, if you want it, maybe you straighten through your legs. 10, 8, 6, 4, last 2, and last 1. Come in, come down. We have one last round of lunges to go, and then we are so done. So you can come back to your lunges we did previously, any of the options. If you have a box or a bench, you can grab that. Again, you can use weights here. If you don't have any, don't worry about it. One foot's going to come up onto the bench. Toes can be tucked or flat. It's just a comfort thing. And then when you're ready, back knee's going to start to drop towards the ground to get as deep as you can go, and then lift up. Back knee lowers and lifts. Your back knee doesn't have to touch the ground. I just like to set up that way so I know how deep I can go. So often with these Bulgarians, it's just about getting comfortable. And can you start to add in a forward lean if you're not already? If you're super keen, you can add in a jump for the last 30 seconds. It's just not there for me today. On a day where I feel like I have a bit more energy, I would. But I also don't want to just huff and puff into the camera, microphone. 10 seconds. Last 5, 3, 2, 1. Come up, shake it out. Find that forward fold. Walk it out. Do what you need to do. Find a twist. If you're ready to go to the other side, Let's do it. Foot comes behind you, toes are tucked, or flat foot. Again, I like to start with my knee down just so I know my distances. And then it's a minute. Finding your lunge, lower down, lift up. If you want to bring back that knee drive, you can. So again, you use as minimal help from the box or from that back leg as you can to lift up. You can find that jump if you prefer. We've got about 20 seconds. 15. Last 10. Last 5. For 3, 2, and last 1. Finish with a bit of a stretch here. So bring one foot forward, any foot. Rock your hips forward, they kind of start to sink. And then press back, straighten through that front leg. You can use your hands on the floor to support you. Hips drop, rock forward. Hips back, straighten through that front leg. Just take your time here, start to settle in. You can add in your spines, your hips come forward, eyes come up. And then as your hips shift back, eyes down. You can keep moving through these, or you can press your hips back, straighten through that front leg, hold it here for 5. 3, see if you can fold forward. 2, 1, hips forward, eyes back. 5, 3, 2, 1, come down, switch sides. Other foot forward. Rock forward, hips drop, press back, straighten through that front leg. You can use your hands as much or as little as you want on the mat. All right, keep moving, or we're gonna go to those holds. Hips shift back. 5, see if you can fold forward, knee towards your nose, as straight as you can get through that front leg. 4, 3, 2, 1, lift up. Hips forward, eyes can come up and back if you like. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. That is all I'll ask of you today. Thanks for joining me. Again, I hope you got what you needed. I hope you're not doing it in 40-degree heat like I am, and I'll catch you tomorrow.